What's up, everybody, and welcome to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to the Comic Universe. I'm Dr. J. I've got a PhD in nerd culture, and I should know, I printed it out myself, and it's time to put that PhD to use for another edition of the J-Files. So, for those of you guys who don't know, in case you're new here, first of all, welcome. And the J-Files is a series I do over here on the Comic Universe, where I take certain characters in comic and nerd culture, and I do kind of a short little 5 to 10 minute opinion piece. It is not, entirely just, their origin and their powers and stuff like that, because there are a million other videos that explain that kind of stuff way better than I possibly could. So instead, I'm just going to give you reasons why I like the character and reasons why I think people in general like the character. Now, here on the Comic Universe, we are gearing up for the exciting release of Deadpool 2, and in honor of that, I'm doing a double feature of the J-Files today and tomorrow. Of course, today I'll be covering the main star of the movie, as well as his co-star and best time-traveling buddy, in the next episode that'll air tomorrow. So, this week, today, of course, we are talking about the Merc with a Mouth, Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool. So, Deadpool is a character that I actually don't like that much personally. I know, right? So many comic fans and so many just casual fans in general are all about Deadpool. Like, Deadpool's the greatest, he's hilarious, he's hyper violent, he's self-aware, he breaks the fourth wall all the time, he loves chimichangas. What's not to love? Well, I mean, I do like Deadpool, but my thing with Deadpool is he's so prevalent that I can only really take Deadpool in small doses. But why do I think Deadpool is such a popular character? Is it his humor? Is it, his, cool-ass powers with, regeneration and, of course, the sword skills, the gunplay, all that crazy stuff? Is it the wacky fourth wall breaking antics? Is it his profane, just I don't give a attitude towards everything? What is it that makes Deadpool so appealing? Well, it's a little bit of all of the above, really, and I think the reason Deadpool became such an iconic character and a character that a lot of people not only love to read but love to write is because, in my opinion, Deadpool is the perfect self-insert character. Now, perfect is kind of a stretch. I kind of use that just as hyperbole, but hear me out here. So, if you guys know, from the comic universe, we all love our fan fiction here. It's kind of our bread and butter. And a self-insert character is a character in which the writer kind of uses as a vehicle for their own voice, and so they can give their own opinion and kind of insert themselves into the story. And when you really think about it, it wasn't so much in the original era of Rob Liefeld when Deadpool was first created that Deadpool became the ultimate self-insert character. But I would say around the really formative years of what we know of Deadpool today, which is of course the Joe Kelly run of Deadpool, where Deadpool became the perfect kind of self-insert character for various writers all throughout the decades. And why do I say that? So, think about Deadpool and his whole split personality thing and his crazy over-the-top humor and self-awareness, and the fact that he is aware of the fact that he's in a comic book and he comments about the artist need to draw things a certain way, or man, that was a lame panel, or and he can literally jump between panels and be aware he's jumping between panels and things like that. Well, a lot of times when the writers use Deadpool, they often use him kind of as a commentary on the industry or how they feel about the industry, or maybe just to make certain jabs at certain companies or movies and things like that. And they can get away with it because it's Deadpool. That's kind of his thing. And Deadpool is also one of those characters where you can put yourself in his shoes and again just not give a there's really kind of no holds barred when it comes to Deadpool. So a lot of times when writers get a hold of him, they're just allowed to cut loose and have fun and basically say whatever is on their mind unfiltered, and they won't necessarily be, they won't necessarily be like, eh, that is what I thought, but I was kind of writing as if I was Deadpool, kind of thing. Like, and I think that's kind of the beauty of Deadpool as a character is like you can really more than any other character in the Marvel universe. Deadpool, because he is such a malleable character, he's like, he changes so much on the fly, really because of his crazy personality. Is that any writer can mold Deadpool to match their voice, and it's their unfiltered voice, which is a lot of fun to read with a lot of writers. Like Jerry Duggan's run was a lot of fun. Brian Posehn, who's obviously the dude's a comedian. He does this stuff for a living. His shit was hilarious. Joe Kelly, like I said before, was great. Gail Simone's Deadpool was great. If you love Gail Simone's, kind of dark sense of humor, it's definitely I would recommend reading her Deadpool run. But really, I think that's what is so appealing about Deadpool. And plus, he isn't just a gag character. He does have depth to him, especially when you take writers like Jason Aaron or Jerry Duggan and Brian Posehn, where they kind of give him the sort of sad clown treatment, where you find out that this wacky, over-the-top behavior is kind of just a veneer to hide all the pain he's gone through, and that's really interesting when you really peel that back, and you get a lot of that portrayed through Ryan Reynolds' performance in the Deadpool movie, which is why I think a lot of us agree that he is the perfect actor to play Deadpool, because Ryan Reynolds, very much like Deadpool, has a very unfiltered, I don't give a fuck type of personality. I let that one slip. My bad. Sorry, Craig. But yeah, like, we're talking about Deadpool, and F-bomb was gonna drop somewhere regardless. But yeah, so I think that's what makes Deadpool appealing, and that's why I personally like Deadpool. But let me know what you guys think. Of course, we have Deadpoolzilla himself on this channel, so I want to know what draws you guys to Deadpool. What makes you like the Merc with the Mouth? Is it his, badassery? Is it his cool ass powers? Is it his tragic backstory? Is it his over the top humor? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. And what are some of your favorite Deadpool stories? So, as always, don't forget to leave this video a like to let us know you enjoyed it. And be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for more news, reviews, and so much more that the Comic Universe is here to provide for you guys. And in the outro card, I will leave linked my previous episode review, or not previous episode review, but previous episode of the J-Files, where I talked about the comic book version of the Mad Titan Thanos. And then I will leave a link also for the overall playlist for the J-Files, in case you missed any of the previous episodes for any of the other characters that I've covered so far, and you want to see those. I will leave that linked in the outro card as well as my personal channel icon, so that if you haven't already, and you like what I do here on the Comic Universe, you can hop over to my personal universe, Mr. J's Reviews, and subscribe over there. I would really appreciate it. I review a lot of different TV shows, movies, comic books, video games. Basically, if you like what I do over here, you'll definitely like what I do over there as well. So please, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe there also. But stay tuned for tomorrow, where we will be talking about Nathan Summers, aka Cable. But until next time, I'll catch you later. Peace. Chimichanga time.